less than 3 cents an acre, it was the greatest land bargain in history. How did it happen? Napoleon Bonaparte needed money quickly for his military campaigns. Therefore, he sold all the land west of the Mississippi for just $15 million. Napoleon, who fought in Europe, Egypt, and Russia, once stated, "Alexander, Caesar, Charlemagne, and myself founded empires upon force. But Jesus Christ founded his upon love, and at this hour millions of men would die for him."
This has been an American Minute with Bill Federer. For a free transcript, call American Minute at 1-888-USA-WORD.
VCY America presents Crosstalk, a nationwide call-in program discussing issues that have an effect on our families, our communities, our churches, our nation, and our world. Crosstalk, an opportunity for you to voice your concerns for biblical principles. And now live by satellite and around the world on the internet at vcyamerica.org. Here is today's Crosstalk.
Friends, we thank you for joining us on Crosstalk here on the VCY America Network. The natural family is under attack. And friends, believe it or not, it is actually targeted. It's targeted for destruction. Look what our nation has done in redefining terms like marriage, family, male, female. I mean, when you change or redefine these terms, there's absolutely no stopping to the expansion of these definitions to unknown levels. And friends, what we are seeing today, it's going to go even further yet. Just consider the hijacking of our own calendar for purposes, in my opinion, of promoting perversion. What used to be a Gay Pride Day has turned into Gay Pride Month. And now look how this has been expanded. GLAAD, that is known as the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, is releasing their LGBTQ calendar. Let me share from you from this calendar so you can understand how the natural family is under attack. It is not just a Gay Pride Day or Gay Pride Month, because February 7th is National Black HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. The week after Valentine's Day is Aromantic Spectrum Awareness Week. February 28th, HIV is Not a Crime Awareness Day. In the month of March, it's Bisexual Health Awareness Month. And then there's a week that varies in March for National LGBT Health Awareness Week. March 10th is a National Women and Girls HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. March 20th, the National Native HIV Awareness Day. March 31st, the International Transgender Day of Visibility. April 6th, International Asexuality Day. April 10th, National Youth HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. The third Friday of April, the Day of Silence. April 18th, National Transgender HIV Testing Day. April 18th, Non-Binary Parents Day. April 26th, Lesbian Visibility Day. In May, the first Sunday in May, is International Family Equality Day. May 17th, the International Day Against Homophobia, Transphobia, and Biphobia. May 19th, National Asian and Pacific Islanders HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. May 22nd is Harvey Milk Day. May 24th, Pansexual and Pan-Romantic Awareness and Visibility Day. June, LGBT Pride Month. And then June 1st, LGBTQ Families Day. June 12th, Pulse Remembrance Day. June 15th, the anniversary of the U.S. Supreme Court Bostock decision expanding protections to LGBTQ employees. June 26th, the anniversary of the U.S. Supreme Court decision legalizing so-called marriage equality. June 27th, National HIV Testing Day. June 28th, Stonewall Day. June 30th, Queer Youth of Faith Day. How blasphemous, folks. July, the week of July 14th, Non-Binary Awareness Week, culminates in International Non-Binary Peoples Day on July 14th. July 16th, International Drag Day, and we're not talking about racing, folks. August 14th, Gay Uncles Day. August 20th, Southern HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. September 18th, National HIV/AIDS and Aging Awareness Day. The week of September 23, Bisexual and Bisexual Plus Awareness Week, culminating and celebrating Bisexual Day on September 23rd. September 27th, National Gay Men's HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. October, well, there we go again, a whole month, LGBTQ History Month. October 8th, International Lesbian Day. October 11th, National Coming Out Day. October 15th, National Latinx HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. October 19th, National LGBT Center Awareness Day. The third Wednesday in October is International Pronouns Day. The third Thursday in the month in October is Spirit Day. Last week in October, Asexual Awareness Week. October 26th, Intersex Awareness Day. November, the first Sunday, Transgender Parent Day. November 13th through 19th, Transgender Awareness Week. November 20th, Transgender Day of Remembrance. December 1st, World AIDS Day. December 8th, Pansexual Panromantic Pride Day. December 14th, HIV Cure Research Day. On and on, friends, this goes. The hijacking of our calendar for purposes, again, in my opinion, of promoting perversion. Well, rather than cursing the darkness, our guests today are lighting a candle in celebration of what is being called Natural Family Month, extending from Mother's Day to Father's Day. Joining us today with news of this movement, we welcome J.R. Harrison, the director of the National Family Foundation, and Rob Pugh, the founder and publisher of Wisconsin Christian News. Gentlemen, thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
And I may be a stick in the mud, but I don't celebrate any of those holidays you just mentioned.
Yes, nor do I. And yet our calendar is filling up with these days. And I mean, Rob, what's your reaction to the hijacking of the calendar to promote immoral activity?
Well, it's not surprising. It's been coming, incrementally for decades, and here we are. And people think of June as Pride Month. Here in Wisconsin, it used to be Dairy Month. Mm-hmm. But it does not, it doesn't end when July 1st comes around.
Yeah. Jay, are you kind of shocked by all these days?
I knew there were several, but as you're reading the list, I'm going, these guys are good. They really are good.
Yeah. I mean, from the standpoint in hijacking the calendar.
Well, we've let this happen, though, Jim. That this is not necessarily on them. We sat by and let this happen. Mm-hmm. We could have put up roadblocks at any point. Now we're at a point like, wow, what do we do? And I think that's a beautiful opening for the Natural Family Month, because it is, number one, is a positive approach. We're not complaining about anything. Okay, we're not making fun of anything. We're just citing a historical best practice, which is the natural family, which in all it's the biblical family as well. It's one and the same. There's no difference.
Yeah, but our society today is kind of warped in their thinking. Let's define this, JR. Since we've so distorted and redefined terms, let's define what is meant by the natural family.
Well, it is one, and I got to say this, biologically born man and one biologically born woman in a lifelong, committed, monogamous relationship with their children, biological and or adopted, by the way. That is the family. There are cases where you have to have the adoptions in there, but the standard is the biological. But again, there is room for the adopted in there. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot in that, Jim, because you have one lifelong, committed, monogamous relationship. That is huge, huge. And in this day and age, and I grew up in the 60s, and the phrase was, "If it feels good, do it." We tried to erase the lines of right and wrong. We did a pretty good job of it, by the way. And now here we are, and I'm trying to put the lines back there. We're trying to put the lines back there. But yeah, I'm getting a little verbose. I apologize. It is one man, one woman, lifelong, committed, monogamous relationship. And boy, is that ever under attack. Jim, what Satan seeks to destroy, he first corrupts. And the family is a key target for him. It has been since the beginning in the garden. That's the first thing he went after, Adam and Eve, the original family.
Yeah, indeed. And we have seen this attack progress throughout history. And more recently, we've seen the attack intensify over the last several decades. And when I look at the communist goals that were read into the congressional record, I see goal number 25, break down cultural standards of morality by promoting pornography and obscenity in books, magazines, motion pictures, radio, and TV. Goal 26, present homosexuality, degeneracy, and promiscuity as normal, natural, healthy. Goal 40, discredit the family as an institution, encourage promiscuity and easy divorce. Goal 41, emphasize the need to raise children away from the negative influences of parents, attribute prejudices, mental blocks, and retarding of children to suppressive influence of parents. I could go on, JR, but these are direct attacks on the natural family.
Amen, brother. Amen. And it's up to us, especially the Christians, to say, hold it, stop. Jim, this is child abuse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this really is child abuse, what we're doing to our children.
Yeah. Rob, do you believe these attacks on the natural family are purposeful?
Oh, absolutely. That's got to be a key component to the entire agenda. Anywhere you go where children are present, there will be that rainbow influence. You don't see the rainbow at nursing homes, but you do see them at preschools and kindergartens and elementary schools. Wherever children are, there is that influence, that drive to indoctrinate and brainwash children into questioning first, and then getting them into this agenda. It is an agenda. It's a planned agenda.
It is agenda, and we continue to be bombarded. I just was handed a moment ago from LGBTQNation.com. Here's the headline, date, and this is April 30th, 2024. People are more likely to regret having kids than having gender-affirming care. And that is just more of the kind of misinformation and certainly distracted distortion of our time to say that people will have greater regret having children than having gender affirming care, and certainly this is a part of the Great Delusion as well.
Yeah, I did see that headline, and I did not read the article, but it's just more of the propaganda.
JR, you indicate that the natural family is the cornerstone of all civilization. Are you being over dramatic with this, or do you really believe that?
I don't know. You're going to have to check with God, because that's the first institution He created for the benefit of man. I don't think it was a flip of a coin or an accident.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's the foundation. It's the foundation of all and any societies is the family. And we have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and God is our Father in heaven. We have brothers and sisters in Christ. If there was no such thing as a family, what would that mean to us, other than just somebody else?
Well, you heard the litany of days, weeks, months that are set aside for celebration of aberrant sexual belief and behavior. But JR, you're suggesting the start of a month to celebrate the natural family. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's a positive approach. Christians and conservatives are like, it's like the commercial with Mikey. He doesn't like anything. And Christian, we don't like anything. And you know what? We probably shouldn't. You just read a list of things that we shouldn't like. But we're always put in a position where we have to be negative. The beauty of the Natural Family Month is it is a positive move. And by the way, it's an offensive move. It's not that we're always playing defense as well. This is an offensive move. And I can give you a quick example of how that works. In Ohio, 3 years ago, I addressed a local city council and asked them to have a Natural Family Month from Mother's Day to Father's Day. Now, this was a year after they'd had their first Gay Pride Month. And the city council did not know what to do with that. Number one, I wasn't complaining. I was presenting something positive. I was also presenting something that contrasted. Now, this came on the tail of a case in Boston where Camp Constitution versus Boston,
yes.
The Supreme Court unanimous decision said they could fly the Christian flag. Well, my ask plus what they did in Boston, Camp Constitution, those two together, that June they didn't do anything. They didn't have a Natural Family Month, but they didn't have a Gay Pride Month.
Tell you what, we're going to take a quick break right here because we want to develop this topic further. And friends, again, rather than curse the darkness, they're lighting a light and promoting a positive event called a Natural Family Month, extending from Mother's Day to Father's Day. We'll be back with more information after the break. You're listening to Crosstalk on the VCY America Network.
Back to Genesis with Dr. John Morris, president of the Institute for Creation Research. Dr. Morris, was the extinction of dinosaurs caused by an asteroid hitting the Earth?
Chris, this is a favorite evolutionary claim that some 65 million years ago an asteroid smashed into the Earth and sent the dinosaurs into extinction. But did you know that a lot of evolutionists deny this? Some are now saying that the dinosaurs were already going into extinction before the asteroid hit. You see, it's really difficult to reconstruct unobserved history. But the Bible gives us the key. The Bible tells us that God created all the animals, including the dinosaurs, during Creation Week. Most of them were wiped out in the great flood of Noah's day, and the fossils are primarily those animals that died in the flood. 2 of each kind survived on board Noah's Ark, but many of them, of course, have gone extinct since then. You see, Chris, everything fits into the Back to Genesis view of history.
Thanks for joining us for Back to Genesis.
You're listening to Crosstalk on the VCY America Network, and today's topic is Natural Family Month. We're talking with J.R. Harrison, director of the National Family Foundation, and Rob Pugh, founder and publisher of Wisconsin Christian News. And J.R., you were telling us about the establishment of a Natural Family Month. Before we continue talking about that, there have been those, when they saw Gay Pride Month, some have said, well, why don't we have a Straight Pride Month? And there's a reason why that you chose not to, select a so-called Straight Pride Month. Tell us about that.
Again, it's positive, and you can fill in the blanks. The state pride, again, this is opposing what they're doing. The natural family it opposes it, but it's in a positive manner.
And Scripture doesn't have many good things to say about pride either, does it?
No, you're right. You're right. And look, I don't want to make. I really appreciate at least the efforts. I mean, you got to call play. At least they were trying to do something, and you have to appreciate that. As versus the majority of us that just sit around and complain, and then we listen to all the news medias, including Fox, and they feed that negative input. It's like we're addicted to hearing negative input. They just keep pumping it in this. Here, this is an opportunity to change and to have a positive influence in your local area, and that's key. We have a proclamation for the natural family. Let me get that real quick.
Yeah.
Where a mayor can go in.
Now, friends, he's going to read for us his proclamation, but keep in mind, we're going to be providing you a website, so have something ready to write with, a pen or a pencil, a sheet of paper. We'll be telling you how you can see this model proclamation and to get it instituted in your community as well. So tell us about the proclamation, if you would.
When you do a proclamation, you have to have whereases. So whereas the natural family has long been recognized as an institution that consists of 2 married individuals of the opposite biological sex and their biological or adopted children, whereas for centuries the natural family has been the mainstay and foundation of Western and other civilizations, whereas in recent decades the uniquely designed institution has been maligned and denigrated, and there's been attempts to redefine it, and whereas it is vital to the health of the community to support, celebrate, promulgate, and honor this sacred institution, now be it resolved that city, township, parish, love to see a state do this, but I'll settle for the city, urges the community to acknowledge and to celebrate Natural Family Month from Mother's Day through Father's Day, urges our citizens to participate in family-oriented events during the spatial month-long time period, 4 Sundays, by the way, urges the various churches and religious groups, businesses, organizations in the city to make a special effort to promote and to honor natural family this summer, and Rob's going to get into that. What he's doing is just incredible. Urges communities in the county to consider holding or supporting a natural family festival or other celebrations, the natural family during the month to include, but not exclusively, weekly celebration starting on Mother's Day, celebrating mothers during this first week, followed by a Children's Week, next Grandparents' Week, Extended Family Week, ending on Father's Day, the week of Father's Day. By the way, this proclamation was put together by one of our promise keepers for the natural family. We were talking about it. I didn't have a proclamation, and he said, have you ever considered a proclamation? I went, no. Can you put one together for me? And he did, and this is it.
Wow.
And that's how Yeah,
So,
it's a God thing.
Yeah,
It really is.
So you've got a model of this, and people can, and we're going to have you give us a website, but people can go to this, get this model, get it to an alderman of their community for it to be introduced on a city level, and Lord willing, someday on a state level, for that to happen as well. And to see that progress, so that just as you have all these governors and city leaders doing so-called Pride Month proclamations, that they also will have this Natural Family Month proclamation that they can issue as well.
It's an option they've never had,
right?
And they have no. Well, what am I supposed to do? Be the bad guy here? It gives them a positive option. And I just love that about this. The website is naturalfamilystrong.com, naturalfamilystrong.com. And yes, the proclamation's on there, but one thing I want to encourage your listeners to do, and this is critical. If you do nothing else, this will help us more than anything else. There is a promise on that site, and we want you to look for it. We want you to be a promise keeper. Numbers matter. Numbers matter. And when I talk to a mayor, or I talk to a city council member, or to a federal representative or a state representative, they're going to go to the Natural Family Foundation. They're going to go to that website, and one of the things they're going to look at are the promise keepers. And when they look at that number, I won't have to leave a second call. They'll call me back almost immediately if the numbers are right there. So please, anything else, please consider that promise. Sign that promise.
Okay, so we're going to talk what that promise is, because you have 4 components to that promise. And friends, if you go to naturalfamilystrong.com, on the bar across the top, you're going to see the word promise. You click on that promise, and this is not part of what was that national movement called the Promise Keepers, but no, this is the Natural Family Promise. So tell us, JR, about that promise. What are those 4 components?
Sure. I promise, this is easy. I promise to support the restoration and concept of the natural family. I believe the family is the foundation of all strong societies, including the United States. I believe the natural family consists solely of one biologically born man, one biologically born woman, committed in a lifelong, committed monogamous relationship with their children. I commit myself to work with others to strengthen the concept and gladly add my name to the list of Natural Family Foundation supporters. I'll do everything within my power to encourage the growth of the natural family and put it in the prominent place it must occupy in order for this republic to continue to be the greatest nation on earth. And folks, as goes the family, so goes the church. As goes the church, so goes the nation. If the family's broken, good luck.
Friends, it's called the Natural Family Promise, and you'll find that at naturalfamilystrong.com, naturalfamilystrong.com. Click on the word promise at the top there, and you, just as an individual, can sign on to that promise and certainly see the numbers rise. I mean, this is really, I think, your first real national exposure to this initiative.
Yes.
And, friends, you can go to that site there at naturalfamilystrong.com. Where would they find the proclamation on your site?
The proclamation, it'd be on the front page. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Let me get to there. Yeah, the proclamation is on the front page.
Very good. And you'll see the little button there that says proclamation, and that's, friends, so you can sign the promise, but then go to the proclamation and then submit that to your local community, to an alderman or trustee, depending on the makeup of the leadership of your community, or to your mayor's office directly. But that proclamation is there, but the promise is so important that this is something individuals, that people can do just on that individual level. So a husband can take that, a wife can take that, a child can take it, correct? An adult child?
Yep. If you're part of the natural family and you believe in it, then there's no limit.
Yeah. So that's available on the website, and I know even there have been yard signs that have been created for promotion of the natural family as well.
Yeah, that's on the website under the Natural Family Month. Mm-hmm. You can order those signs there. We're going to have what I call campaign buttons and lapel pins, but we haven't got those yet.
Okay.
But the signs they stand out. You cannot miss them. And I have so much fun with a couple of my neighbors who have a different type of sign out during the month of June. And you can use your imagination for that one. But this yellow sign stands out. You can't miss it.
Yeah. Well, Rob Pugh is also with us from Wisconsin Christian News. And Rob, as JR pointed out, you've really taken this to another whole level. And you've indicated that while so-called, pride festivals are going on in individual cities, to actually have a natural family celebration. So tell us about an idea. It's more than just an idea. It's what you are instituting in a community here in the state of Wisconsin, but sure could be a spark for others to do something in their community. So tell us about that natural family celebration.
Well, it came from an idea that I had last June when Pride Month and all the Pride activities and festivities were going on. And, I had been multiple times to pride parades and drag festivals and things like that to try to witness to the people. And it's virtually impossible because they will shut you down, blow horns directly against your ears, bang drums, try to drown out anything you're saying. It's virtually impossible to have any type of a conversation with them. So, I guess it was born out of frustration, this idea that I had last year. But by the time I came up with it last year, it was really too late to implement. This year, our good friend Ray LeBlanc, who took over a ministry that I began in Marshfield, Wisconsin, kind of took the lead on things, got the ball rolling, and then asked me to get involved. And so we've developed this into something that I think is going to be very, very powerful. We're calling it the Natural Family Festival, and it's meant to be a positive, uplifting celebration of the family, plain and simple. And not coincidentally, we're holding it in a public park just about 4 blocks away from another public park where a drag show is going on. Now, at this drag show, you can imagine what happens, but they have little children there giving these drag queen men dollar bills to stick in their underwear, and they're teaching the children how to dress, how to put on makeup, how to be a drag queen. And we're talking 5, 6, 7-year-old kids. So that's what's going on in that park. 4 blocks away at another city park, we're doing our Natural Family Festival. And basically, Jim, you came up with the idea of lighting a candle rather than cursing the darkness. And I believe that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
It is a very positive event. It's meant to, re-engage the family. It's an opportunity to connect children with their parents, parents with their children, grandparents with their own children and their grandchildren, but in substantial and meaningful hands-on ways. So it's not like any other community festival that you might go to. Yes, we will have bouncy houses for the kids and things like that, but it's more about significant things, significant activities. It's not about the silly stuff. We don't focus on, foolish music or clowns or carnival games or face painting. People can get that anywhere. This is much deeper, has a much greater impact. And I can get into some of the activities that we have planned if you want.
Yeah, we'll do that right after the break because we're just 30 seconds away from that. But friends, I want you to consider, what is it I can do? And that's what these men have done. This is something I can do, and coming up with the idea of a Natural Family Month and I mean, putting the resources in. They've got a website, they've got a proclamation, they've got the promise that they're asking people across this nation to sign onto it as well. They've certainly got the biblical support for promoting the natural family as well, as God has instructed and intended from His Word. And so they're taking these pieces to put them together as we said, not to curse the darkness, but to light a candle and to be a light for the Lord Jesus Christ through this process. Well, Rob Pugh is putting together a natural family festival in a community near him, and he's going to break that down for us, what that looks like, right after the break. This is Crosstalk on VCY America.
Muslims continually claim that Islam is a loving and peaceful religion. They also insist that violence is committed by only a few radicals who misunderstand the teaching of Muhammad, which are found in the Quran and in the Hadith. But is this true? The Violent Truth About Islam is a 24-page booklet that examines such claims, along with dozens of passages from the Quran and statements from the Hadith and Muslim scholars. What is the cause of violence and terror in Islam? This booklet will leave no doubt about Islam's long history of intolerance and bloodshed arising from the very words in the Quran and from the example of Muhammad's life and teachings. One copy of this booklet is available for a donation of $2, 5 copies for $9, or 10 copies for a donation of $12. Call 1-800-729-9829.
You're listening to Crosstalk on VCY America. With us, our guest, promoting a Natural Family Month, and doing that by way of a proclamation, by way of a promise that individuals across this nation can sign on to. And now we're also talking about the matter of putting on a festival, putting on an event in a public place, right there in a park. Not too far from where another park is being held, another event that is really, that, in my opinion, would corrupt the minds of young people and attendees to it, but instead to promote the natural family. So with us today, we have J.R. Harrison, director of the National Family Foundation, Rob Pugh, founder and publisher of Wisconsin Christian News. And Rob, you kind of became tasked with putting together a festival, an event in a park. So tell us what you're doing and some of the things that you're going to have take place, and where is it taking place?
Okay, well, it all started with the Natural Family Month that JR created, and we were looking for a way to express that and to demonstrate that. What does that look like? What does Natural Family Month look like? How do you get that point across to people? Well, we came up with the idea of a Natural Family Festival, and actually our date falls outside of the Natural Family Month, which is Mother's Day to Father's Day. We're actually doing this the last Saturday in June. Mm-hmm. But that's okay. You can do it any time of the year. This is something you can do any time of the year in any city across the United States. And I encourage our listeners to consider doing this in your community, because it can easily be done, and we have plans that you can follow. We'll get into that. But so what we're doing, we're starting off, we're having some speakers, and the event will be opened by the City of Marshfield's mayor. The mayor has agreed to open the festival with a speech celebrating the natural family. We have some other speakers as well. But then we have some activities, and they are all designed to connect family members together. For instance, we have for fathers and sons, they can build a birdhouse or bird feeder together. This is woodworking. We'll have people leading this, teaching them how to do it. We'll have pre-made kits made, and fathers and sons can put a birdhouse together. Moms and daughters can plant a garden together. We'll have approximately 12-inch rectangular pots, and they can plant flowers or vegetables or both and take those home. We're also having a lemonade stand, but it's not your normal lemonade stand. Next to ours, we're going to have a sign that says "Help Wanted." And then kids age 5 to 13 can sign up to work. So this teaches kids how to get a job, how to work. They'll work a half-hour shift, 50 cents a cup for the lemonade, and whatever they earn on their shift, they get to keep. So it teaches kids how to earn money. Mm-hmm. We all know that the drag queens are going to be having story time. we will also be having story time. But our stories will be read from the old McGuffey readers and books of that nature, and they will be read by grandmothers and grandfathers. So here we're connecting the grandparents with the youngest of the generations. We're having pony and cart rides, a petting zoo, and one of my favorite things just came to me. We're going to be having some expert builders there to oversee the building of a playhouse. So dads and hopefully teens will work together and build a real house. Now, obviously, it's a playhouse, but they're going to work together to build something they never thought they could.
Yeah.
And in the end, everyone who worked on the project will put their name in a drawing, and someone will win that, and they'll be able to take it home and enjoy it forever.
Wow.
We also have a mobile creation museum, so people can come through that, see, learn how God created the world in 6 days, and how the first family came to be, and much more. We have a lot more things planned for this, but and we do have bouncy houses for the kids. We'll have a fire truck. We'll have a police car, and the event needs to be very visible so that even those who haven't heard about it, maybe they're just driving by the park. But we're going to have a big banner outside that says, everyone's welcome. Welcome to all Natural Family Festival. Come and enjoy. And it'll be a very visual thing. But once we get there, it's all going to be permeated with Christianity, the natural family, the Word of God, and getting families back together the way they should be.
Yeah. Oh, and Rob, tell us, you actually have put together really a toolkit to explain the whole rationale behind this, how to get one started, the steps that one needs to take, some of the ideas for having at this Natural Family Festival. How is it our listeners can obtain that?
Yeah, it's a 9-page step-by-step guide that will guide you through setting this up, from everything from choosing the location, choosing your date, contacting local officials, booking food vendors, planning to make the event visible, finding speakers, and then it gets into detail about the activities and how to get those going, who to contact, and even things like how do you pay for an event like this? That's included in this guide as well. So if people can get that on JR's website, naturalfamilystrong.com, and if you just scroll down on the main page, there is a tab, there's a button that says Natural Family Festival, and once you click that, you'll get the basic information on what a Natural Family Festival is, and then there is a poster that you can click and enlarge. You can see all the details of what we're doing. And below that, there's a button you can click to email to request this step-by-step guide.
Wow.
And honestly, I would like to see 50 to 100 Natural Family Festivals happen across the country even before we do our own. And you can easily set this up in a matter of weeks if you follow this guide. Get a group of people together that are interested in doing this, and it is lighting a candle rather than cursing the darkness. The darkness is still going to be there, and in our case, it's only 4 blocks away. So the neat thing about this is the community of Marshfield, Wisconsin, is going to have a stark contrast between our Natural Family Festival and the Drag Queen Festival that's going on in the other park.
Friends, we've got more.
Which would you rather have for your community? Which is going to strengthen your community and your families, lower the crime rate, bring more love and compassion? Which would you want for your town?
Friends, the website again, naturalfamilystrong.com. naturalfamilystrong.com. I'll rehearse some of the things available there, but we'd like to also open our phone lines taking your comments to this and your questions. Our number to Crosstalk is 800-733-9829. That's 800-733-9829. 9829. Something positive that's taking place for communities across this country, and whether it be a rural community, whether it be a large metropolitan area, friends, you can tailor make it for your community, but it's getting engaged and finding those to come alongside and to assist you in that regard. Again, our number here, 800-733-9829. Again, there are some points of action you can take. Number one is the promise, just making the promise yourself in support of the natural family. If you go to naturalfamilystrong.com, clicking on the word promise, and you can read the four points there for that promise and signing on to that promise. There is also the proclamation, which you'll find on the main page of the site. And clicking on proclamation, you'll see the wording on that to submit to your local community leadership, to have your community to conduct a proclamation in this regard for the natural family. And then there is also, as Rob Pugh has just outlined for us, the Natural Family Festival, in which you to put on an activity in a public area to invite the community to come out and be a part of this as well. And friends, you can find this all at naturalfamilystrong.com. Let me ask you, JR, your response to what Rob is doing, it's just rather amazing.
I'm amazed. This is just, he blows me away with what he's doing. Before I forget this, Jim, first of all, thank you for the term lighting the candle. Mm-hmm. That's something that's been added to here. It's a positive. And please, there is no perfect marriage. There's no perfect government. There's no perfect family. With one exception, there's no perfect humans. I've been divorced. 50% of the people in the nation have been divorced. Don't let that hold you back. This is a best practice that you want to encourage others to do. And I just, please, you do not have to be perfect or feel that you're going to be judged if you're not a perfect family. Because you're not. You're just not. But it's a goal, a best practice. Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
And folks, I would, again, as Jim said, if you do nothing else, at least go to naturalfamilystrong.com and click on the promise. And I'd like to see those numbers of people making that promise just go through the roof after today. And one other point I'd like to make, Jim, is this can be done anywhere in the country. This festival was put together literally by 3 guys, myself and 2 others. And in a matter of virtually a couple of weeks. So if you're looking to do something positive for your community and do something as an alternative, instead of just complaining about the Pride Month or complaining about, all these other things, here's something that you can easily put together. And I've got the details. It's a 9-page document that I will email to you. All you need to do is request it.
Okay. Well, friends, our number to Crosstalk, 800-733-9829. We have John calling from West Salem. John, you're on the air.
Yes, I was just going to make a comment that I thought it was rather ironic that the homosexual community uses the word pride to describe so many things, like the Pride Day, Pride Week, month, Pride parades, Pride flag, and on and on. And it was, again, ironic that it was pride that took down Satan, or Lucifer, I should say, and destroyed him.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you for making that observation. And we see those 5 I wills in Isaiah chapter 14. I will be like, the very center of pride, Pride, is the letter I. It's all about I. And this is in celebration, JR, of what God has done, what God has instituted.
Amen.
Yes, and the other reason we don't do a straight Pride festival is because heterosexual people don't celebrate Pride, first of all, and they don't flaunt their sexuality in public, and so I mean that's our reasoning. Mm-hmm. We don't do Pride things. We do.
We promote that which God has promoted, and God certainly does not promote pride. But this is something that the natural family has been instituted by God. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back to more calls coming in. Our number to Crosstalk is 800-733-9829. That's 800-733-9829. You can read the promise. You can read the proclamation. Learn more about the festival as well at naturalfamilystrong.com. Naturalfamilystrong.com. Back in a minute here, right on Crosstalk on the VCY America Network.
For the Worldview Report, I'm Brandon House. Our website is worldviewreport.com. There's new video footage now of the 5 red heifers that were shipped from Texas to Israel. One has been disqualified due to dark hair. The other 4 are in the running. Why do we have to have these? Well, this is what is discussed in Numbers for a purification process, the slaughter of the red heifer, the ashes mixed with water, and the purification for other processes to begin for the new temple, the third temple, the tribulation temple. Now, we're not excited about that because Christ was our once and final sacrifice for sins for those who place their trust in Christ. But the fact that the Jews are so excited about these red heifers, that they have them, they're ready to get going with the temple, the cutting of the stones for the temple. And yes, guess what now? We have video footage also of Levites in their Levitical robes, a choir of Levites singing that will be used in the temple. The stage is being set, my friends, for Bible prophecy to be fulfilled.
A natural family month, a natural family, folks. Just think of that concept. Brilliant, isn't it? Well, it came from our designer, God, who developed the natural family and designed the natural family. And these men have come along to say, we're going to celebrate this and declare it. And you can also be engaged in it as well. Naturalfamilystrong.com. Let's go right back to the phone lines. By the way, with us, J.R. Harrison, Director of Natural Family Foundation, Rob Pugh, founder and publisher of Wisconsin Christian News. So let's get back to the phone lines. We have George calling from Olney, Illinois. You're on the air.
Yes, thank you for taking my call. God's intention when he made the covenant with Abraham was family. He knew that he would teach his children, and it is storytelling. We have to tell the story over and over again, and the feasts of Israel are set up just like the Sabbath day to light a candle.
Yeah, indeed. And passing things on, the things that we're told this day to pass them on to our children and our children's children. So important. Thank you. Jonathan in New Hampshire, you're on the air.
Hello. I just, first of all, I want to thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to thank you men for all that you're doing. I actually went on the website and put on my promise on there. But I just wanted to make mention. It's like I appreciate the fact that you guys are deciding to do the festival idea, and it's a pretty sad thing that we've come to this in our world, that we have to do this. But I'm just so glad that we are doing it, and being that light in our world.
Indeed, thank you for
it's
sharing.
An opportunity, and George, Claudine Burnham is a state representative in New Hampshire. She's going to present the proclamation to the House this coming Thursday. So if you can support her, please do so.
That sounds awesome.
Thank you, Jonathan. And again, this is something, I mean, what a great teaching tool for our children here, JR.
Yeah, by example, by the way.
Yeah.
By example.
Yeah. And Rob, having activities there, again, building birdhouses and planting something, learning how to make a garden, teaching skills and business, so to speak, with having a lemonade stand and having young people run that and so on and so forth. Many activities, story times with adults sharing the stories as well, music and other activities taking place through the course. Really is a family activity day, is it not?
It is, and it's not silly songs. It's going to be families singing together a cappella. So we're having families together singing. You don't find that at any other event.
Right.
And one of the things I like the best about the story time is that it's read by our elderly grandparents.
Yep.
You know, a lot of children don't even know their grandparents, or they're afraid of them. And this is going to be such a blessing. It warms my heart even thinking about this. Probably my favorite activity of the day.
Let's get to Annie in Missouri. Annie, you're on the air.
Hi, I think the festival is just wonderful. I had thought of pieces of that kind of thing as well, but you've gone beyond me, and I just love it. One of the side benefits that I think kids will get out of that is that they work with their parent, and kids today mostly don't work with their parent. They do play, or they shadow, but they don't get to work with, and this is a chance to do that. So I think it's just great, as well as the grandparents reading the stories and including more generations. That's just great.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, we really need to begin honoring our elders and our elderly population. They're not going to be with us forever, and they have such a wealth, a lifetime of information and wisdom and knowledge. And we're going to ask them to share some of their life stories too. But, you know, we really need to connect our youngest with our oldest.
Thank you for the call here. Barbara is next in Kansas. Barbara, you're on the air.
Oh, thank you so much. This is a wonderful idea. This just makes my whole day. But I wanted to ask you if it would be appropriate to have our local pregnancy center come and have a booth in order to perhaps talk to people about questions that they may have about the pregnancy center, or about, issues that they would not go to the pregnancy center to ask about. They might.
Yes, we're inviting several organizations, Christian organizations, to be there and talk about their ministries, and that would be an excellent one to include, yes.
A pregnancy care center in support of life. Thank you, Barbara. And for time, we're just going to squeeze one last call in of Tri-Cities, Washington. And Julio, you're on the air.
Yes, thank you for this program. I just wanted to add another proclamation that I found that's called the Family, a Proclamation to the World. And it was back in 1995 when it came out, and it talks about the family, and it's a very good document. I encourage you all to read it.
Great.
That's it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. We're talking about the Natural Family Month here, and it's been put on. The director of the National Family Foundation is with us, J.R. Harrison. Rob Pugh, founder and publisher of Wisconsin Christian News. And friends, their website is naturalfamilystrong.com. You'll find there the promise that you can sign on to. Just click on the word promise at the top. You'll find information about the proclamation. You can download it, take it to your local city council, and also the festival and all the how-tos for this. Gentlemen, we have 20 seconds each here to close the program. And JR, let's start with you.
Thank you very much, and encourage everyone to take a good, honest look at what we're doing here. If you like it, get engaged. Also tell your friends and family and your pastor about this. Some churches are doing sermons every week dedicated to the honoree of the week. Thank you, Jim.
Okay, and Rob?
I just got a text from our man on the ground, Ray LeBlanc, and he said he's already working on getting a pregnancy center involved. So, yes, that's we're on it.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, God bless you both.
And please do request the information. You can do this anywhere in the country. If you have two or three together, God will be with you.
Thank you both for being with us here today on the program. Folks, we've been talking with J.R. Harrison and Rob Pugh, promoting Natural Family Month. And again, the website, check it out, naturalfamilystrong.com. God bless you, folks. Thanks so much for joining us today on Crosstalk.
You've been listening to Crosstalk via satellite and the internet from VCY America. Views expressed may or may not be those of this station. For For a CD of today's program, send a donation of $6 or more to VCY Tape Ministry, 3434 West Kilbourne Avenue, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53208. Or download by RSS or podcast from crosstalkamerica.com. And join us again for Crosstalk.